Assalamualaikum. We are from group Scuba 67. The topic that we chose for our mini project for OOP is medical record system. Meet the team. I am Afifah Nazlin binti Bashir.
And I am Ezralin anak perempuan Dayalin.
And I am Shazina Marsha binti Sharizan.
I am Adli Natasha binti Aznul Rizal.
For our problem statement, there are few problems for our manual implementation of existing system. First of all, the physical records are inefficient, time-consuming, and are prone to human errors. And they are also easier to be misplaced, lost, or damaged. Physical records are hard to retrieve the patient's medical history, which affects the doctor's ability to make accurate diagnosis. And tracking appointments are also difficult, as data are scattered all over the place. Because of this, our system is developed to overcome all these problems with a few functionalities. Our system can register and manage information in a centralized database, store patients' diagnosis and prescribe medicine for patient for future reference, keep track of patients' medical history, and also display the information of patients, doctors, and appointments. Doctors can also add prescription based on patient name and store it in patient information. And lastly, for appointment, we can assign doctor's ID to patient to create appointment.
For the objective, the system is used to allow the medical record to be kept in a centralized system. So it will be better compared to the physical way, such as keep it in the file or paper. At the same time, it also used to reduce paper waste in medical industry since there are less use of the paper. And then it also used to allow the pharmacists to keep track patient medication if the patient have other prescription come from another hospital or clinic. Lastly, it also used to improve efficiency using exception handling by giving display the error and also ask the user to enter again the input.
So next, let's move on to the class diagram. So first, we have the displayable interface, which contain the display info method. Next, the person class is an abstract class that implements this interface. So it stores common information such as name, phone number, IC number, and gender. So three classes inherit from person, which is patient, doctor, and guardian. So they share the common attribute from person, but also have their own specific information. Next, the patient class is the main class in the system. It stores details such as allergy, medical history, address, appointments, guardian, and prescriptions. So a patient can have a guardian through an aggregation relationship, meaning the guardian can exist independently of the patient. So a patient can also have prescription. The prescription class contains a list of medicine and has a composition relationship with the medicine class, meaning the medicines are managed by the prescription. Next, patients can have multiple appointments. Each appointment belongs to one patient and is handled by one doctor, while a doctor can handle many appointments. The appointment class stores information such as appointment ID, date, time, and diagnosis. An appointment has a composition relationship with the diagnosis class. So this means the diagnosis is created as part of the appointment after the patient is examined. So overall, the diagram shows how the classes work together in the medical record system.
Okay, so next we'll see about object-oriented programming concepts. In our system, we use associations where we apply in the person class. The person class uses the appointment class. Both of the classes can exist independently and it has one-to-many relationship. And the person class also uses the prescription class and it has one-to-one relationship. And the doctor class uses the appointment class and it has one-to-many relationship. Next, for the aggregation, the person class uses guardian as an attribute where the guardian can still exist independently and the guardian is linked to patient if only the patient is 18 years old and below.
So for composition, we use two composition in our code. So the first one is for appointment and diagnosis, which diagnosis is stored in the appointment. So each appointment can contain one diagnosis object. So diagnosis is also, as you can see in the code, diagnosis is created and stored inside the appointment, which means that if appointment is deleted, then the diagnosis will also be deleted. Next. Next, for the composition, we also use for prescription and medicines, which medicines, array list of medicine is stored in prescription, and the medicine object is created and stored in the prescription in the prescription class. So which also means that medicines cannot exist in prescription without being added.
So next, I will explain about the inheritance. So inheritance is used in the patient, doctor, and guardian classes. So these classes extend from the person class. So the person class contains common attributes such as name, phone number, IC number, and gender. So because these attributes are already declared in person, so the subclasses do not need to declare them again. So the super keyword is used in each subclass constructor to send the common information to the person constructors. So this will help to reduce the repeated code. Next. Next, the person class is declared as an abstract class. So this means we cannot directly create an object from the person class because a general person is not specific enough for the system. So instead, we create a specific object such as a patient, doctor, or guardian. So the abstract person class is used to store the common attributes and method and can be shared by all person-related classes. Next. So our system also use an interface called displayable. So this interface declares the display info method. So it will act as a rule that requires displayable classes to provide a method for displaying the information. So the person class implements the displayable interface. So therefore, the concrete subclasses of persons such as patient, doctor, and guardian must provide their own implementation of the display info method.
Last but not least, the polymorphism that we use is the method overriding. Display info in person's class is declared as abstract, which is the parent class, and then the display info in the child classes, which is the doctor, patient, and guardian, is overridden, which means all of these have the same method name, but different outputs are displayed depending on the object type.
So in this system, we also use an array with a size of 3 in the class appointment um, to declare the diagnosis that have a fixed size. So the patient have maximum 3 diagnoses for each consultation. Next. So for the array of object, it is used to store multiple instances of related class. So for example, in the guardian array, we have object G1 and G2 that is also declared as array. So for the array list, it is a dynamic resizable array that used to automatically expand new item that is added and also shrink when the item are removed. So for example, we use the array list in the main function and also in the class that have appointment to add the appointment, and also for the medicine we use add medicine and also remove medicine, which is the dot add and dot remove for add element and remove the element. So lastly, for the exception handling, it is used to catch the runtime errors and also crashes. So for example, in the main, we use two exception handling, which is the same input mismatch exception that is used to catch invalid data type. So for example, we have int choice and also int age. So if the user enter different data type, it will display an error message and also ask the user to enter the input again.
So now we will look at the demo run. So this is the code that we have. Here we got all the .java files and also .class files under the package mini project. So if you try to run, this is the expected output that we will get. So here we got our system name, which is Scuba Medical Record System. So we got all the functions here to add new patient, new doctor, appointment, add prescription, add diagnosis, and also display output. So because here we got a function called pre-data, we tried to test all the function by creating a dummy data here with guardian, patient, doctor, appointment, prescription, and fake data here. So we will try to display all the outputs first. So we will choose display output here, and we will choose patients first. So here we got all the patient record, and this is the patient one, their name, their guardian information, their appointment information, their prescription, and for patient 2 and so on. So lastly, it will display the total patient that we have in our system. And then let's look at our doctor information. So here we got our doctor directory, here we got Doctor 1, Doctor 2, and for now in our system, we got only 2 doctors. So lastly, for medicine, here we got all the prescriptions and also the medicine prescribed. So lastly, we will look at our appointments and also our diagnosis. So we got 2 appointments only currently. So let's go back to our main menu. So here we can add a new patient. So enter patient name. So let's say Dr. Lukman and phone number and also IC number and also gender, state, allergy is none, medical history none, age 21. So if we enter the age is equals to 21, it will just add the patient successfully into our system. But let's say we got another patient name and they are below 18, I would say 16, then it will ask for the guardian name. So that's one of our conditions. So next we will try to do add new doctor. So let's say our doctor is Abu. Male, doctor ID, I would give 201 because previously we got our doctor ID equals to D101 and 102. So I would give the doctor ID is D103 with the specialization in surgery and university from USM. So it says doctor successfully added. So, and then we will try to add new appointment. And the appointment ID, we can refer it here. It's A101 and A102. So I will try to add A103. And then the date, I would give 30th of June. And the time 4:30. And the patient name, I would give Dr. Lukman. And it would display that the patient is added. And the doctor ID, I would give the one that I added previously, which is D103. And it would say appointment successfully created. So if I want to check whether it's successfully added, I can try to display the output again and also the appointment diagnosis. So here I got another appointment where the appointment ID is here, the date, time, the patient, and also the doctor is here. So here it says that no diagnosis is recorded yet. So if I want to try to add a new diagnosis, I would go back to the main menu first and add diagnosis. So the appointment ID is A103 and the diagnosis is flu and blood pressure 160, allergy to medicine none, heart rate 160, and it says diagnosis successfully added. And let's add some prescription too. And medicine name, I will give painkiller, dosage 10, price 10 ringgit, choose patient name, Dr. Lukman, and it says prescription added successfully. So now we will try to verify the output by displaying the output and also display the patients. So here we got appointment 103 with the patient name Lukman, doctor name Abu, and the diagnosis is flu, and the medicine prescribed is painkiller. So we got the total patient updated here. So now we got all the function tested out. So we will now go back to our main menu and also we will try this about us. So this is just a small meet the team text here. The medical record system is designed to help manage patient medical records efficiently by organizing information such as patient details, doctor appointments, diagnosis, prescriptions, and medications. And this system is developed by Tasha, Nazneen, Marsha, and also Ezra. And special thanks to Dr. Lukman for his guidance throughout this project. So I think I've covered all of the functions in our Scuba medical record system. So if I press exit, it will say thank you for using our system, and that's all for the demo run. Okay, so just now I've covered all the important stuff, and now we are going to try the exception handling. So let's say I'm going to add a new patient here, and the patient name is Lala. The phone number is, and it's a female, and from Kelantan, and allergy to none, medical history none, but then the age, they are 15, and it says only number is allowed. So it asks me to input the age again. So now I'm going to enter the number, and then only it will ask me for the guardian name and so on. So now let's try again for another exception handling, which is for the display output. But then I'm trying to enter alphabets again. So let's say input 1 in alphabets, but then it says only number is allowed again. So I need to input 1 in number, then only it will display out the outputs. So I think that's all from our group. Thank you for your attention.